Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, Internet beware, it's showtime. Magic. All right, here we are. So I have played some more. I've opened up the Circle of Fortune, as those of you who are familiar with it can probably tell. So I went through the campaign, not quite the full way. Now we're heading back to Monoliths. We have finished out the first monolith. Well, we have discovered, and by we, the Imperial we, because of course it's me and God who are, yeah, not really. Okay. Is my damage is good. My defense is not great. So I am fragile. Now we're gonna try another Cemetery of the Race. Those are tough. They are tough. I have killed the boss, I think 1 for 3 on them. But first, what was that sound? We are open the rift and confront the rift beast. I'll make sure we've cleared out enough space to deal with the beast without worrying about aggroing extra special badness. Where did he go? I wish you would stop doing that. It's really annoying. Especially when I would like to actually get a little time in to stack up some dots and finish him. Dot builds, you kind of need to be able to build up your stacks. On bosses and whatnot, anyway. Good evening to whomever has joined me. Hope your Saturday is, as I required, kicking ass. What do we have to do? Oh, enter the cemetery, of course. I do have to get used to seeing the occasional pop-up of rip blood for a little extra healing. As occasionally my Chaos Bolts will be throwing in a rip blood as well for a little bit of healing, no biggie. Didn't know what else to do at the point, because I'm already have more points than the build has for that. So a little extra healing seemed like it might be helpful. Also, I've noticed one thing that kind of, because a good chunk of the build relies on being able to nail stuff. With the Chaos Bolts. And that can be tough if they're right next to me. And so the mobs that charge and stuff, they just kind of suck. Ding 62. What the shit? I died. I lost the focus on my game. I clicked outside of the window, and something has happened with LE's settings. If you click outside the window now, it completely vanishes. And so I screwed myself that way. Gameplay. Ground level, gold. That's gameplay. I don't really need... Well, it should be in gameplay. Feedback. Screen shake off. Lock cursor to the game window. I can't believe. Now, it did in the past. That's a follow from either Gestrina2 or Gestrina2. I could guess Trina2. Sorry. I do have a spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. So as I was trying to excuse my failure a moment ago, it didn't used to, if I clicked outside of the window for last Epoch, it didn't used to vanish. It used to stay up, and I would notice that my cursor was off the screen and pull it back onto the screen. But in that case, it was off screen. I clicked, and boom, I went to the desktop on my main monitor. I wasn't able to get back fast enough, and I died. Clearly, not my fault. I'm going to go with somebody else's. I'll just stick with somebody else's. Not mine, obviously. Couldn't be mine. 13 int, physical resist. Those are some positive looking boots. I lose the elemental. 17% elemental is a pretty good chunk, as it would drop 2 of mine pretty far down. I mean, obviously we're keeping them, but we will put them in the needs to be crafted batch.
Yes.
That was irritating because I wanted to go through that map and to the next map. I'm not sure what happens if I try to go back to it. I don't think I can get in. I don't think it qualifies as completed. Hey, Snoopy, how are you doing this evening? That actually has some nice affixes. I'm not sure if I'll break it down or possibly use it. Why did that make the clicky sound and then not vanish for a second and a half or 2 seconds? I've seen that a couple of times. For instance, this time I'm going to sell it. Instantly vanishes. The previous one I clicked, nothing changed, and then it changed. So that's the second or third time I've seen that happening. I have no idea what would cause that. Ooh, actually, I would like to buy back that one and probably, yeah. Working on leveling your shaman, 32, very nice. That one we want to break down. It's got a lot of health shards. And that's got damage over time shards, which we also need. Why is it dropping instead of... Oh, fine. No. Detonating arrow. Interesting. Now, detonating arrow is technically what you use if you're playing with the blast knives, which I have played with a couple of leagues in a row, and it's enormous good fun, the blast knives. The Gelcore blast knives. Can recommend fun build. Good build, Probably not anymore since they took a big nerf, but still a very fun build. They also were extremely good. Now they're okay, but still fun. Okay, this goes with the others. This goes here for later checking out. And then we have a couple to bust up. Wow, they don't have any of the shattering bits and pieces, so we'll have to do it manually. Let's see, we got 7. We got 3 out of 7 affixes. Only 1 damage over time. Yeah, the necrotic penetration's not bad. Wow, we got pretty much everything out of that. And here, tier 5 minion health. Not that interested. Tier 5 health. We got health shards and minion health shards. That's fine. All right, let's see what the mess looks like now. Whoops, actually. We're going encroaching darkness for a point. Yeah, I can't go there, and I wanted to go there, as it's got, what, relics or set items? Set items. So we don't have the set item thing unlocked yet. It's not a big deal yet. Let's see, where do we want to go then? I guess there. But as I was saying earlier, the offense on this build seems to be just fine. But it does not have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to defense. Reason for that is a couple of fold. I don't have a real movement skill. And there are lots of mobs that close to attack like those just do. And it can be very difficult for me to target them with my main skill, as it doesn't target, well, what in the hell was killing me after it was done killing me? It doesn't target very well close. The Chaos Bolts. And so it can be very difficult to target things that charge and close. And unfortunately, that's a large batch of the monsters in the game. And also, it doesn't help that basically I can't find my cursor half the time. What is just killing me? Was it bleeding? It was bleeding. All right. Well, I am off to an incredibly shitty start so far tonight. One complete lens fail, and one sort of weird-ass system fail later. One thing I've also been noticing is that there are certain mob types that when they show up, the monolith is just way harder. The ones that jump to attack, as I just mentioned, they're especially bad. Because you can't target them in midair, basically. And if I can't start reliably stacking up my dots on things, they don't die very fast. These kinds of things, those dogs or whatever the hell they are just very bad news. But the damage is okay. But the defense, part of it also is a completely a me issue, in that I don't have a good grip yet on the appropriate tactical use for the only movement skill I've got, which is Profane Veil. It's mostly a defensive skill rather than strictly speaking, a movement skill. In that your movement's actually slower when you use it, but you're pretty much invulnerable. You can still take damage from dots. I was just speaking about Gelcor's Blast Knife. I have successfully cast my Summon Gelcor's Blast Knife spell. I do have a gift for getting those. Last league, I got one, and I was thinking, gosh, I'd like to play Gelcor's again. Yeah, but what are the odds I can get another one? Oh, I've got a dagger. I'll throw an Ascended Rune on it. Oh, look, 2 Gelcor's Blast Knives. I do not expect that to happen again. Also, if I want to play Rogue, I have access to a really, really good Falconer bow. They have 1 to 4 in 3 different falconry skills, and I got a 4-3-3. So it's really good. Not quite perfect, but really good. So if I want to play Rogue, that's the obvious selection. It's even usable at a relatively low level. Like 37 or something like that. Oh, we've got a champion. Whoop. Gotta get. Oh, no. See, that's one of those cases where dodging is helpful, but it might be better to actually use the Profane Veil. Oh, it's only the largest. Is it 2 champions? It's 2 champions, guys. Hey, lucky me. You know, if this one kills me, I won't even feel guilty. Why does that thing keep jumping completely off the screen? That's just unfair, I would like to point out. Yeah, 2 champions. No problem at all. Gulp. All right, did I miss any champions drops that are specifically champions drops? Champions drops come with a sealed affix, so don't want to miss those. We're almost full on stuff. As I said, my damage is pretty strong. That does not seem to be the problem. Staying alive can be the problem. And I will repeat, that's mostly on me. For being unaware of how best to use Profane Veil. Oh, no! I used it correctly that time. No, I didn't. Oh my god, it killed me. I didn't get out of the goddamn ground effect after it was dead. It's possible I'm the worst game player in the world. I hope that wasn't a good two-handed sword. Do those appear? They do appear, okay. But I didn't get the bonus at the end. Good evening. Well, I was doing well until I stopped doing well to preen about having used a skill correctly, only to continue to stand in the area that was about to explode until it exploded. Well, obviously it happens to the best. It just happened to me. He's not the best. He's not even very good.
Anyway.
Clotho's Needle. Block chance converted to parry chance while you're not wielding a shield. It's a two-handed sword. You're never not wielding a shield. Or you're always not wielding a shield. Sorry. That was irksome. I had succeeded and was proud of using that correctly, and then died. I mean, I could blame you guys, but that's not even I don't believe that. And I'm normally really good at making up bullshit that I believe, even when I know it's not true. That's a lot of minion damage.
Yes.
All right, let's see what we can potentially use or break down. Or break down is what I feel like doing now. It's not fair. There we go. I feel better. And how are you doing this evening? Dude? Should I call you the? Mr. Dude? I like Mr. Dude. Told to bring it bad omen when you enter a place. Well, no, I would love to blame you. I really, honestly would. Can't do it. Because, had I just died because I had forgotten about the skill, that would be one thing. But no, I died because I was preening about having... Look at me. I successfully used a skill I have been having trouble using. Oh, wait. I'm dead. It's like I saw it there and I just stopped instead of moving out of it. Good evening. Well, for me it's evening. Could be morning for you. Afternoon. Middle of the night. And we want to break that one up for pieces. Did that thing again where I get the flash of it going away. I get the sound of the sail, but it takes it like 2 seconds to actually go away. We need to break that one up. +1 to Chaos Bolts. We currently are at +2 to Chaos Bolts. Well, we definitely want to bust that one up. Yeah, I enjoy the game a lot. I bought in to early access, and I haven't regretted it. I continue to play, so... That's not a bad headpiece. I mean, it doesn't have +2 to Chaos Bolts, but it's actually quite good. That is tier 5. So what I could try to do... Why do I get so many bots in my channel? I tend to get one bot a stream, usually. No, I don't have many bot followers. Not that I'm aware of. It's possible. Certainly, I haven't paid for them. Because I am tempted. This has got elemental resist. No, I think I'm better off just with that and then shattering this. Well, I mean, I don't really mind if they follow. I don't think that matters. It only matters if they're sitting in chat. I will try to remember to take a look at Bot Tester. I would like the Chaos Bolts, so I'm going to try to Rune of Removal it. We got the thing I wanted first go. All right, we'll shatter the rest then. Seven. We got 5 out of 7. We would like the Anomaly. What's sealed? Haste after use Evade. All right, that one actually I probably want to just keep. Oh, I've had that forever. I've been over. I've lost about 100 followers in the last 6 months or so. I was up to over 950. I've got more than 1,000 YouTube subs. I think part of it is that historically I've played a lot of older games, and so people who played old games like City of Heroes, they'll watch someone playing City of Heroes and they'll throw them a follow, and then they just don't pop in unless they're playing City of Heroes, as an example. Because I know when I play City of Heroes, I have a lot of City of Heroes viewers, but I can't imagine a lot of them are going to be watching me play Last Epoch. We did get the Ghost Flame Shard, so that's good. All right, we want to put this one away for some future build. I'm not worried about earning. It's not why I do this. I do this for fun. So it doesn't matter to me if they follow or not. It doesn't matter if they don't sub. I do this just for fun. I'm not trying to make money out of it. All right, we're going to try again. Yeah, I have a Discord. Scammers change their script after Twitch's the standard, well, it depends. There are a couple of different kinds of scammers that I'll see over time. And for instance, for a couple of weeks, I wasn't getting the standard bot spam that I've been getting for the last month or two. But all they did was change it from scamsite.com to scamsitespace.com. And Twitch wasn't smart enough to set their sensors up. Their filters up correctly to be able to pick things up. You played PoE. How does this compare to PoE or PoE 2? It is not as complicated. One of the sort of standard descriptions a lot of people will give for it is if you took Diablo 4 and PoE 2, Last Epoch is about in the middle for difficulty. It's simpler and more straightforward than PoE or PoE 2, but it has a lot more depth and buildcraft options than Diablo 4 does. So if you've played PoE and you've played either D3 or D4, this one falls roughly in about the middle. It has certain things I can show you real quick that sort of make it stand apart. Every skill has its own skill tree. And you have a maximum level of 20, but you can get additional skill points off of items. So I have 22 skill points to spend on Chaos Bolts. And they'll do things like add additional damage or maybe give it a burn. Exclamation point Discord. Discord should give you the Discord. So this, for instance, makes this, increases its ignite chance. This increases its chance to inflict damnation. So you can tune them, but a lot of times you can change them completely. This one, for instance, changes the fire element into cold. And so you can tune the individual skills. You have a base skill tree, and once you've spent 20 points and gotten to a certain point in... it should be just exclamation point Discord. So type exclamation point Discord should do it, I think. Once you put 20 points in and get to a point in the storyline, it then opens up the class specific. So you have the base class and 3 elite specializations to choose from. I do try. The crafting is also relatively simple but deep. So for instance, if we take a look at this item, you can see it's got 4 affixes, 2 prefixes, 2 suffixes, and a wide variety to choose from. Let's see. So these are the different shards that you get as loot drops, but you can also shatter items to get shards out. And the shards allow you to craft. Thank you very much, Chase Hunt. So if I wanted to increase, let's say, the health, I click here. Shows me the health shards I have. I have 57 health shards. We use a glyph that reduces the potential loss, because when you make an addition to an item or a change to an item, the forging potential goes down. If it goes to 0, you can't do any more crafting. But my current health this gives me is 52. Let's upgrade that. It's now 90. A big jump. And we didn't lose any forging potential, so we can continue to forge. But I need to be level 66 to forge that. And as for my vibes, it depends. Most of the time I try to maintain, but I've had a couple of aggravating brain farts this evening. And for those who aren't aware of it, I am dual streaming right now. I stream to Twitch and YouTube. So if I'm speaking to someone and you don't know who the hell I'm talking to, it's probably somebody on the other side. And I try to do readbacks where I specify, what somebody asked me. I don't do that as much as I should, but I am trying to get better. All right, I have to defeat 2 champions. Eesh. Get everybody? Yep, we did. But so far this evening, I have been dying. Whoops, that's the bot guy we're trying to get. Oh my god. I couldn't get through my own pet that pops up when the mob is down to 40% life. I have an item that makes a pet pop up. And for whatever reason, he has a significant body block effect. Is that the other guy? No, it's not. Not yet. Alright, we have a nemesis. We'll do the nemesis first, because they're always fun. If we can get to the nemesis, there we go. Why the hell is that not going off? And suddenly I've forgotten how to use my fingers correctly. Let's see what we have here. Kulnavar's Claim. Alright, we will empower this. Alright, we got him. Now we have the champion to get. Whoop. Something hit really hard. Don't know what it was. Might have been the other champion that I just didn't see, because he died. Hey, we finished one. We finished one successfully. Yay. Is there phasing in the game? Depends on how you want to define phasing. If you mean phasing the way it's used in MMORPGs, no. It's instancing. It's heavily instanced. I am really getting them tonight, am I not? That dropped next to nothing. Yeah, lucky me. I'm getting them tonight. Spell damage, necrotic damage. Fizz resist, huh? Why is that there? That shouldn't be there at all. I accidentally right-clicked on it, I think. Yeah, I don't know what it is. No, we don't want that. We just want to sell it.
Take care.
I am definitely having issues this evening with the game. Not the game itself, my play of it. So I'm going to go back to the storyline, maybe get a look at the storyline part I haven't seen. Okay, right, that's the guy who does that. Over here somewhere. The Oasis. Another player. those dogs are really annoying. I haven't done much in this map at all. Historically, what I just do is I'll get through far enough to open up the Circle of Fortune, and then just do maps. Basically just do monoliths from there. But I'm finding myself really fragile. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about it with this build. I mean, maybe I'm just not a good enough player for whatever I'm supposed to be doing defensively. That's certainly possible. Offensively, the build is fine. Defense, man, not having a movement skill is, let's go with killing me. Maybe I'm just too used to the strong build I was playing the last couple of leagues. Ding 63. Which was close to unkillable. That was Void Knight Auto Bomber. Boss or something here? Yes, boss or something. See, I mean, melted that thing pretty damn quick. We will be traveling to the ancient era. We gotta go back in time. Next, we're over here for Health Leech against the Cursed, so that should also help my survivability some. But I'm mostly dying very, very fast when I die. Which I assume means I don't have much in the way of endurance. Yeah, not much. Alright, let's go back in time. We'll do it for science.
Be ready. We have once again cornered a rift beast. What can we make?
Alright, let's see. We have 3 of the primordial feathers. We need 10 if we want to buy a bag of uniques. I have no idea how many uniques come in a bag of uniques. Well, the other items are higher level, more expensive, although we are over 10,000 bones now. Yeah, I'm just not getting enough parts that I can reliably say when I'll be able to, purchase any of the goodies. I am, however, considering my next character already. That's just kind of a given with me. I'm always thinking about my next character. in almost every game. Okay. That's not a dead end. There are some seemingly dead ends that will actually have a loot chest, so it is worth tracking them down. I'll grab that and that. There's the chest I was talking about. Got a bunch of ancient bones. Not sure how many, but a bunch. Reasonably small bunch, not like a big bunch. So the boss will be waiting up here in probably the next room. Yeah. Like I said, I do a pretty good job on single targets unless they're leaping and attacking me. And we will now upgrade the mob that we were just fighting. Ooh, drops exalted armor. Releases poison spikes on each attack. I'm not enthused about that part. But drops exalted armor? Yeah. We did kill the mob here, so we return to Mask in the Haven of Silk. Oh, the Haven of Silk. This was last league's mechanic, which was a significantly deeper and cooler mechanic, but also there was a longer gap between leagues.
Tell me, what in my eye, the Weaver, you are, whether it, I know I cannot compel you, I see. Feel free to make this place your home. I will continue to watch you with great interest.
Alright, back to the Divine Era. Majelka Slums. We have a turn in there, I think. Nope, wrong way. Right way. She met the same fate as the other merchant. I wish you luck.
Farewell.
Alright, we'll sell the stuff in the inventory. Unless any of it's worth keeping. Accidentally clicked and picked up a blue. Ew!
Yes.
Let's see. I think that's the only place we've got to go. That is the lower district, and I think that leads into the slums. think one of the things I need to do is be more aggressive about making sure I push my buttons. It's a little bit slower than trying to press the minimum required buttons, but it's safer. No macroing in the game.
How's my new favorite bounty? I never... After you're done with your business in the temple...
All right. Now we need to head the other direction. I think this goes to the slums. So this isn't the slums. It looks pretty slummy, but evidently not actually the slums. It is a lot tougher to steer my shots when the mobs are right on top of me, though. It's real easy to be, like, they're right on top of me and I'm shooting behind me. Which is less likely to be effective.
Let's straighten him out. Looks like trouble.
We'll grab the shrine. He's going to tear me apart, evidently. If I believe him. It's a lovely city they have here. You know, if you like crap holes, it's quite beautiful. We've got 3 things. We have the NPC we need to talk to. We have a nemesis we need to murder. And also the beast needs killing. We've added an LP to that. That has now added an affix. That's become exalted. All right, we'll empower again. That big thing there is my friend. It shows up when hard critters are down to 40%. And we're about to confront the rift beast that we just created and made tougher. He's got something he wants to drop himself. How nice. Almost got him. There we go. There's a cooldown on summoning the friendly beast, and that's why the friendly beast didn't show up. A gold-plated loo? Why, only a person of incredibly awful taste could have such a thing. I'm just going to let that sit there. uncommented upon further, at least by me. I didn't say a word.
Can I help you?
Ideally, I'm trying to walk. How much is it going to cost me? I'm headed inside. Feel free to try and stop me. He wants 100,000 gold. I mean, he didn't even last very long. He lasted barely long enough for my friend to show up. So when I killed my first of the fully evolved critters, I got this as a drop. Add 6 to all attributes, movement speed, resists, plus 2 to all skills, which is broken good. And then when a hit leaves a boss or champion below 40%, it summons a Rift Beast for 15 seconds on a 40-second cooldown. And he has the same evolutions as the Rift Beast I had when I equipped the item. So I think it actually stays the same beast. We have another nemesis. Or the same nemesis, I guess. Those guys are just so annoying. Because my shots miss them when they jump towards me and they go behind me. So I have to aim behind me. If you have the brain to theorycraft all your own builds, you can probably do okay in this game. Because I have. Last season I did a Warlock build. I just winged it the whole way. I made it far into Monoliths before, I don't remember, I either got bored or there was another game that had become needed to play, or I made another character, but it was fine. You can perfectly well make it into Monoliths, which is the end game. Not maybe all the way through to empowered Monoliths and fighting Uber Aberoth, but you can do fine. Optimal? Probably not. Good enough? Yeah. You know, something adding 10% damage. That's always going to be good. Something adding 5% and slowing the critters. Is that better? Who knows? Somebody who's run the numbers maybe, but they both have their good points. In PoE, if you haven't played the game, you're the first time player, you're screwed if you don't follow a build guide. You're doomed. This game? No, you're not doomed. You can get to the end game. It may take you a little while longer. You won't be as strong. You may feel, once you look at a build guide for a similar build, you go, oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, that is better. But you would actually understand why it was better. In PoE 2, or PoE, I keep saying PoE 2. PoE, it holds for both. It was, I believe, 2 years before I knew the difference in PoE between increased damage and more damage, because they're not the same thing. In this game, it's a little more obvious. The explanations aren't perfect, but you had 2,500 and you can't craft simple things. No, I can certainly believe it. I have been able to learn the basics of crafting, but no more than that. I mean, you know, the best thing I ever crafted on my own that wasn't using a broken mechanic, I got lucky. I was alt spamming on a two-handed axe, and I got tier 1 flat damage and tier 1 attack speed. I regaled it up and got a tier 3 cold damage. Flat cold damage, sure, that's a little extra damage. And then I used the top tier craft to give it like 115% damage on top. And it was like 650 DPS, which for the time was very, very good. Not extraordinary, but very good. But that's like the limit of how much in-depth crafting I have done. I can take a good item and sometimes make it better. I can recognize a good item after thousands of hours in the game. But no, when it comes to top-end crafting, no. absolutely can't get anywhere near it. Like if I'm reading through the PoE subreddit and someone talks about the crafting steps they went through to make one of those ridiculous, stupid items, I never have the currencies. Now, I know I could do a much more creditable job in regular PoE if annuls were more prevalent and regals were more prevalent. Now, they made regals a lot more prevalent in PoE 2. That's a thumbs up. But the major, simple, straightforward crafting you need to do is alteration, spam, regals, or using essences. But either way, it's doing things a lot of times. And if there were a lot more annuls around where you were willing to take a chance rather than just, I have 2 annuls the entire league. Do I want to burn 50% of my annuls on a 1 in 5 chance? Yeah, regals in PoE 2 are the way it should be in PoE 1. The jump from alt spam to regal should not be such a big jump because you only have like 3 regals. Okay, Nemesis. We did get LP on that. Very nice. That has got sealed, tier 6? Tier 5 health. That's really good. That's got 2 exalted. Tier 6, both tier 6, but 2 of them. And okay, this is pretty good. So, given how I've been playing this evening, I'll die. Go me. Like I said, the damage on this build is good. But my defenses either aren't up to snuff, I'm not playing very well with them, or I really don't understand the proper role for my one big defense, the Profane Veil. I think that's a big part of it. I've never played with Profane Veil before, so I kind of don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why, yes, I will go in. A box. Oh, bad guys.
They're mine.
Let's grab this. Burn, baby, burn. So the thing about this build, which I'm not used to, is it doesn't have a standard traversal skill. It doesn't have a movement skill. It has the big defensive that you have where you're basically invulnerable for a couple of seconds with Profane Veil, which serves a very similar function, but it's not a function I've ever used before. So I don't think I'm using it correctly, often enough, all that good stuff. I think it's something I need to figure out how to use and then use it at the right times without thinking about it, the way I normally do with a movement skill. Like, oh, I'm standing in the poop, I'd better move, use the movement skill. Well, here I know I don't have a movement skill and I'm forgetting to actually use my defensive.
What brings you here?
He offers me 1,000 gold. I will accept 1,000 gold.
What brings
brings you here?
Have you anything to sell? Well, I could use a couple more shatters. Shattered. Shooby. What did I do? I did it again. I hit the wrong button again. And again, that time I hit the right button for the wrong reason. Sometimes I like to think I'm occasionally a smart guy. Not all the time. No one's a smart guy all the time. But sometimes lately, the brain has not been braining, you know? I want to keep that. There's nothing you can do to make your brain more. Despite my best efforts, my brain is laughing at my attempts to maintain brain. I think we're going to want to deconstruct that one.
Farewell.
Maybe I should go through the door instead of trying to walk through the wall. Well, why don't we just go in here? I'm sure this is a friendly location. All right, he's dead and been replaced by an upgraded version. And he's dead. Return to Zarek in Majelka. Well, then there's no reason to go outside. We'll just return to the upper district. I'm going to AFK for just a sec and fetch myself another cup of coffee. Okay. And I'm almost very nearly sort of back. Hi, guys. Oh, there he is.
Ha-ha! I may, despite all that. I know win-win. All right, once after that. Oh, come on. Where's that fighting spirit? It's going to work. It's not like you've got any other options.
All right, I want a couple of things I want to take care of here before I forget. Bear with me, please. All right. Just needed to ban a couple of spammers, that's all.
Can I help you?
That's not bad at all. We're going to craft onto that. We're going to sell that. We're going to craft on that. We're going to deconstruct that, and that is going to get salted away. Right? Yeah, I think so. No, I don't think so. All right, the others go into storage. Oh, we're running out of space. Oh dear. New stash tab. For the purples. This is the one I was going to craft onto. This is the one I was going to break up into parts. Give me some parts. Damage over time shards. Very nice. This is the one that's getting salted away for possibly some other build sometime in the future. This is the one we're crafting onto right now. Damage over time, elemental resistance, critical strike, tier 5 critical strike avoidance, and added dodge rating. Very nice. So for here, I think we go with just good old flat intelligence because I need to be smarter. We've got tier 2s. Come on, give me. Don't screw me. Oh, God, it's going to screw me. Don't screw me. Well, we should get at least one more. Get the damage over time up to the cap. Yay! We also get to add at least one to elemental resistance. We're done now with the craft. So it had tier 2 of damage over time. It had an empty second affix. It had a good suffix and another good suffix. This one at tier 5. I crafted on 5 tiers of intelligence, 3 tiers of damage over time. And I got to add in one more tier of elemental resistance, so it has 7 int, 51% increased damage over time, a little bit of elemental resistance, and a nice critical strike avoidance and dodge rating, which should help reduce my deaths by a non-zero chunk. So if we were to throw this on, currently our Chthonic Fissure does 3,705, 3,942, so about 8%? 7 or 8% increased damage on top. In this case, we almost 5,000 in Spirit Plague, where we were at 4,600. So again, about the same, 6 or 7%, I would say. Regardless, a solid increase in our DPS and a nice additional chunk of defense as well, which I kind of can use. So we now have a little bit more wiggle room on our elemental resists. We're in pretty good shape. 9%, 8%, and 5% from cap in void, poison, and physical. Where are we off to now? Traveling to the Oasis. Can I get to the Oasis? Have I been to the Oasis previously? I have not been to the Oasis previously. We're off to the Oasis. Midnight at the Oasis. Well, that's the upper district. Oh, it's pointing me in this direction. Okay. Entering the Oasis. All right, we got another beast. Well, more likely the same beast. Something about Fisher and those homing missiles is so satisfying. Yes, I agree. It's a very well visually compelling piece of animation they have done. You know, with the spirits in there throwing the fireballs out and stuff. It's creepy in a good way. We are rift beasting again. Here we go. Where is he? You've almost got him dead. Because my friend has shown up. I think the other thing is dead. Just hasn't plopped down to the ground yet. Where did it freaking go? There it is. Jeez. Stop spitting out wasps at me, okay? Nobody likes wasps. Nobody's ever liked wasps or hornets. They're nature's assholes. Just stop. But I've got to say, I think those dogs are more annoying. I have done this content before, I remember. But I think I've only done it to the final fight in Majelka once before. Maybe twice. I got so many of these mobs that want to be right on top of me to attack, and a lot of times I just can't even make out the fact that there's a mob there. Because of the visual spam from my skills. A lot of times I can't make out the little red bar that says there's somebody next to me trying to nibble on my bum. But those gloves, a little bit of a damage increase, but I think that's a significant improvement in my survivability. The fact that I'm much less likely to get crit. They just keep coming. Oh, we've got... a loot lizard. Well, we had a loot lizard. Now we have the lizard's loot. Hi there. Maran Zabat. All right, enter the crystal mines. I'm sure it's fine, filled with happy workers, food and riches for everybody. I'm sure it's the happiest place in the world. It's like Disneyland, only underground and filled with things that want to kill you. So yeah, Disneyland. Well, we have the Rift Beast has decided to come in and say hello again. I do love having a cull. If you're not familiar with what that is, one of my skills has when the mob gets down to 12%, it dies. Tough to see a downside on that one. Well, I mean, for me, the creature dying probably isn't thrilled at the prospect. Granted. That booming is a good effect. I'm sending out damage waves. That is from the shrine there. That I touched a magic shrine. Another shrine. This one just drops gold. More money, more problems, right? Isn't that what the saying is? Yeah, the saying's dumb, but it is the saying. Different problems, sure. More money, not more problems. If it was true, the rich people would be giving away all of their money. Why are you still alive? Why didn't you have more stacks on you? Critters dropping from the ceiling and crap. Oh, Crystal Lotus. See, now he got lit up and he continued to like bleed out and stuff. Burn out. Well, burning out. Bleeding out makes sense. I'm not sure what you call it when you've got like a whole shitload of stacks of damnation on you. Because damning out doesn't sound right. See, what happens is I put on shitloads of ignite stacks and damnation stacks. And when I get to a certain amount, everybody gets a nice little assortment of Witchfire as well, which is a very big dot. New Nemesis, what do we got? I gotta say, none of those are particularly interesting to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and challenge it. We'll kill it really fast. And we'll take those, and we'll have a new batch of stuff waiting for us the next time we get one. What the hell am I missing back there? Find the crystal mines elevator. What the hell? Return to Zaran. Oh, okay, the return is the way we came in. We'll just teleport back to them later. Presumably. That's a dead end. We don't like dead ends. Like, ever. Even small ones. Of course, that's one of my problems with PoE 2. So many dead ends in those maps. Oh my god. Was there a box? There was a box! Probably not worth... Not worth, but, hey. It's in my nature. If there's a box, it must be open. I don't even consider that to be negotiable. Of course it must be opened. The elevator. Wonder where it goes. It goes up.
There you are. Not just. She dumped me. If we try to hop on, let's go thin their numbers a bit, shall we?
Wow, lots of unhappy people. Unpeople happy. The English as a first language lessons are not coming along quite as well as I would like.
I would hate to be on your bad side.
Oh, nothing up there. Nothing up my sleeve. Riftu! That's an old guy cartoon reference. There's a big bird over there. I mean, that's a good-sized bird. But evidently bird is the word. That's an old guy music reference. Yep. I got an idea. How about another critter? We might be getting close on the feathers now.
Well, on top of that, hey, try not to fall off. All we got to do is steer Talon towards the temple, and she should take care of the rest.
The Majosan Heights. I think I've only done this one time. We're on the back of the big bird, and I believe like people drop in to say hi. Really thoughtful of them when you think about it. Or possibly unwelcome. The hell was... There's a big rock, looked like it fell out of the sky and brought down the bird? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, it appears that the bird was no longer the word.
Well, unfortunately, this is where we part. For now, at least. You have yourself. Splitting up is the best way.
Good luck.
I look forward to seeing.
I have no idea where I'm going. Enter Majosa's temple. Ah, the temple. Yeah, I have. Like I said, I have just done the temple, which was like the last fight in the game until the new patch. Only once, I think. Maybe twice. I can't shoot the flag. It was moving in a very suspicious fashion. That's all I want to say. I couldn't be sure that it wasn't trying to sneak up on me. You can't trust flags. I mean, they wave at everyone. He's a biggie. Sort of. Mildly biggie. Big-ish. Oh, I see we've got our next nemesis. Nemesis was a really awesome mechanic they added last league. Just plain fun. Rewarding and fun. Volcanus. I might like to have Volcanus empowered. Lightning strikes. That's friendly poison. This is traveling to the ancient era again. I'm doing. Let me sell stuff to make some space. I think I'd like to keep that one, or at least deconstruct it at a later time. Yeah, we want to deconstruct that one. That one. That's the hybrid. That one. Yeah, that one too. Just trying to free up space, you know, because we're going to be killing. Let's sort that all out, and
We have once again cornered it. Let's see what you've got.
we are up to 8 of the feathers. For a bag of uniques, we need 10 feathers, so we need 2 more feathers. Now, if we want to buy feathers, it costs 500 bones and 2 horns. We have 18 horns. We can buy 2 feathers and then get the bag of uniques. I'm going to do that. I guess it was 3. I thought it was only 2. There we go. So I can now buy that, and I will.
Trust your instincts.
But I'm not going to open it yet. We'll open it
Enough
a little bit later.
The wilds are waiting.
Oh, how to keep the people in suspense. Also, we don't have a lot of space in our bag, so. Wait, what the heck? This whole map layout is already discovered, or almost. Whoops, we don't want that. That's weird. I didn't know that could happen. Oh, well, there's another Culnivar's Claim. We just got one of those with 1 LP from a nemesis. Weird that this map is partially... Did I die? Maybe I died previously? That's possible, I suppose. Did I die during one of these earlier? I mean, I know I died earlier when I misclicked. And off-screen the game. So maybe that's what happened? Uh-huh. I don't see where we would have missed. This would be where the chest would be if there was a chest. There is. So I don't know why we have this exposed map, but I'm not going to say no. If it's a leftover because I died, that's fine. If not, I have no explanation, but here's the boss.
Won't hold for long.
Got him. And now we have another feather. I also need to check and see where our next point goes. Yeah, I don't know what's making, when I tab out, making LE go off screen. That is a new behavior, and not one I'm particularly happy about, gotta say. So it looks like we're going up to 4 in Spirit Leech. So all right, next up. Drops glyphs, drop affix shards, drop uncommon affix shards. I probably could use some more petals because we just spent ours. So we'll make sure that that is added to the next beast evolution. It pops out of the egg and scampers off.
A fine choice of egg.
Whoa, how did we end up with 19? I don't understand. I bought, like, I don't get it. Did that boss drop a shit ton of them? Maybe? I don't know. Ah, and it changes what the next batch of uniques is, so I should have looked at him before I evolved it. Oh well.
The hunt never ends, traveler.
A real solid memory of this is that I had to double back for some reason. And I may be completely misremembering. I mean, not that that seems likely, because of course my memory is sharp as a tack. No sooner do I say that, and I am backtracking. So maybe I didn't misremember. Why are you not dead? It's probably a rude thing to ask a monster, which is why you're not dead. We've got a champion mob up. We had a champion mob up. Not so much anymore. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, I'm not saying please. That's a good point. Politeness counts. Manners don't cost anything, you know? I mean, that guy just melted really fast. And he was champion tier mob. He melted really fast because I stack up dots. Things fall over and die whether I've asked them to or not. Of course, I can't think of a circumstance under which I would ask them to not die. That would be unlikely. But I will try and say please in the future. You're right. Manners maketh man, and politeness doesn't cost anything. The upper temple. Let's head back down to the upper district, where we can sell stuff, empty out the inventory, and open that bag. It says uniques. It's plural, right? It says bag of uniques. Drops a random number. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that random number is not 1 to 1,000. I'm going to guess somewhere in the 2 to 5 range. I would not be surprised if it was 2. I would be surprised if it was more than 5. I would probably be surprised by 5. Probably 2 to 4. But we'll see shortly. Purples. 111% increased physical damage. That seems pretty okay for a melee item. That's a lot of armor. That is tier 6 health. That's a metric shit ton of health. We did also drop a couple of uniques. Soul Bastion and another Culnivars. Another, was it tier 6 again? Tier 6 health. Bracers, minion damage and melee damage leashed as life. Of no particular use for this character. All right, let's see. We'll sell some stuff and probably back some stuff and maybe, All right, we are busting up those. Busting up that. Were we busting up all of the things I think that were to here on the left? Yeah, I think so. That one actually too can be busted up. No. Hesitated. But no. He's got excellent. We currently have 7 items. We'll get 7. Let's see if we can't finish out even on those. Okay, we're going to deconstruct those 7 items, having just bought shatterings for them. We have a total of 7 affix shards available. We got 2. Please feel free to go whap whap. Only 6 here. We would like the Reaper. We did not get the Reaper. 4, 7, 8. The spell damage is good. We got 2 of the spell damage. Lightning damage and leech would be good. Not for this build. Damage over time would be good for this build. Chance to ignite, perfectly good for this build. So we got 3, 4, 7, and we got 3 out. We did get the lightning damage and leech. Damage over time. Minion melee and spell damage would be good. Damage over time we got. Spell damage and reduced mana cost would be good. We got that. And elemental damage. Chance to ignite. Necrotic damage. None of those were bad. Elemental's good. All right, so here we go. We are going to open the bag of uniques. My guess, 2 or 3. 4 would not be surprising. Anything more than 4 really would be. 5. My initial number was 2 to 5. So, the Kestrel, I recognize that with 1 LP. That's always a really, really good low-level starter thing. You get some life on that, and it's just freaking great. That one is the Ring of the Third Eye. Crit strike chance, but reduced crit strike multi. Chance to gain ward on crit. Weaver's Will. God, I love Weaver's Will items. They're just, I mentioned earlier how much I love the Nemesis system. I love the Weaver's Will system too, where it's a decent weapon on its own, but in this case, it has 11 points worth of additional affixes. You might get a tier 6 and a tier 5 for 11, or you could get up to 4, like tier 2s and 3s. And chance to inflict spiders on melee. Oh, that's creepy. 20% chance to inflict spiders on melee hit per equipped Weaver's Will item. So if you had 5 of the items, you'd be putting spiders on everybody with every single loving caress. 6% damage leaches health on melee hit for you and your minions. Minion critical strike multi. And it has an 80... Wow. It has a total of 125 melee crit multi on that. Ooh, spiders, don't worry. It's only 20% of every time you whack somebody per Weaver's Will item. I recognize the boots. Dark Stride, movement speed, void cleave, melee void damage, movement speed added per melee void damage, and increased void damage. Don't recognize, sort of recognize, my brain is telling me, almost certainly wrong, that this is one that is used for the rune thingy mage spec. I am correct. This is used by the rune caster, or whatever the rune thingy name is for the mage, as it gives you damage for using a wand, staff, or scepter, depending on their first rune and second rune. So techie, I have played one of the rune caster, whatever the rune name thing is, once or twice.
Can I help you?
When they first came out, I built my build around the combo that gave you stupidly large amounts of ward, I think. And later they had to nerf that combo because it was too much. But I was kind of proud that I had discovered by myself, hey, that one looks really good. Because most of the time, if I find something and I go, hey, that one looks really good, it's not. I have to talk to this person? What's going on? I'll keep that in mind.
Farewell.
Why is he blinking like I have to talk to him? I can take care of myself. He's still blinking like I'm supposed to talk to him. Search for Apophis and Majasa return to Maram Tabat. That's not Maram Tabat, is it? No, that's Heem. Where's Maram Tabat?
Farewell.
Somebody's in the Oasis. Well, it's midnight at the Oasis. I'm going to send my camel to bed. That's an old guy music reference.
Good day, traveler.
Crystallized monster attacked them. It won't be hurting anyone anymore. What else have we got? Return to Mamon's Rot. No, we took care of that. Search for Apophis and Majasa. Oh, that's right. We have to, talk to Majasa, don't we? Keeper's Camp. That's that. So, we had just gotten to the upper temple, I think. Yeah, that was where we'd just gotten to. Yes, this is where we had just gotten to. I do need to check one thing. I assume I've gotten to the next tier and that's the Weaver tree. Wrong thing. I pressed the wrong button, man. I am in tier 3. So, 45% chance for Runes of Ascendance. I want to use a Rune of Ascendance because I have a 45% chance for it not to get eaten. Whenever an idol drops, there's a 25% chance for 2 more to drop at the same time. And we need another 5,000 rep to open up the full set drop. So any green item drop means the entire set drops. That and the ability to peel off the set bonuses in green items vastly has improved the utility of green items. As generally the bonuses they gave were not very good compared to having, 2 or 3 really good items. A nice little bonus for having 3 of the set was not as good as having 3 really good items, not in the set. But the ability to peel off the set bonuses and apply them to other things makes having them worthwhile. Can I get around to maybe that Nemesis over there would be nice? No? I'm going to have to go back? I have to go back. Long corridors with no connections. I mean, who designs a freaking temple like that? Snakes, evidently. All right, we've empowered once. 240% increased stun chance. That's not especially impressive. And he's dead. Well, not dead. He's driven off the third time we kill him. Okay. More bones. Feels like this ought to be a boss room type thing, deal, you know? Like that. She didn't last long. In fact, her spell lasted longer than she did, the lower temple.
Were you hoping to find Majesta human?
Survive Apophis's minions. Does she have mini minions? Or perhaps many minions? Are they minion-tastic or minion-rific? Should I be attempting to... Well, okay, I guess I can't get out. That's fine. Until I survive the attack. I'm okay with that. Got more minions for me, babe? She has many minions. They're not that many. They're many, but not mini. She's blabbing about something. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. The Void. I wasn't expecting the Void, but okay. Yeah, she's betrayed her goddess, I think, maybe by embracing the Void, which explains why the Void. You know, maybe don't betray your goddess. That's my point, I guess. I think I've only done this fight once.
What do you think you're doing, my pitiful vessel maiden?
I am breaking the cycle. I refuse to be your sacrifice.
Disgraceful. Rage is unbecoming of you, child.
This is not rage. For millennia, the vessel maidens have died so you could live. Now feel
Basically, looks like the goddess has been devouring the souls of her loyal minions to live forever, which is kind of a god. That's kind of their deal, you know,
that now fills
is feeding off of their followers to live forever.
What's happening? Get out of my mind!
Apparently I have to fight the goddess. I didn't remember that. At least I think I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've done this once or twice, I think when it first came out. Because most of the time I just take cutsies. The Chamber of Vessels. The offense on this build is really solid. Does she have another phase? She has another phase. Okay. I didn't realize that. Now I do. Where'd you go? Well, we've got her low enough. Our Rift Beast is back. Another phase? Oh, how delightful for me. I think that's it for the phases because it changed now to confront Apophis. She gonna drop any fat loot? She's a god. You know, God should be... I don't want to pick nits, but... Oh, okay, there we go. Wow, is that not impressive? Okay, I do want to pick nits now. That's just not especially impressive. Not sure where we're going, except this. To confront Apophis.
Summoning dark powers. Not a bad idea, but your execution of this little rebellion is horribly messy.
Majasa is dead then, just as he promised. This would be much easier if you had died with her. No matter, I can still take what I need. You can feel the Epoch's power fading as though it were being drained somehow. 1 second.
You think this is over?
Thank you. I'll get to this in a second.
The power I've been given.
I don't know if I've ever seen this before.
This showed me the way. All I needed was the key, and you brought it right to me. The power of the Epoch is mine.
Shinigami D3 Mon has followed. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thanks.
What a sore loser.
We are now in Chapter 10 for the first time.
Where did she run off to?
And a sub, a tier 1 sub. Quick, someone might want to notify Twitch their account has been compromised. Thank you very, very much for the sub. I appreciate that a great deal. Welcome to the stream indeed. I hope I can live up to that. There's a really big critter out there. We're back in time again. This is the new act that was just added yesterday? Day before yesterday. Good day to you. Thank you very much for both the follow and the sub. You are extremely kind. Oh, okay. That's not a great sign. Ooh, nice. I like the little tree bridge effect. Oh, didn't get that one, huh? No, I did. Ew. Corruption. The Void. I think I'm going to skip the Exiled Mage for now. As I'm not nuts about the returns we get from those guys, and they can be tough. And we're just dipping our toes into Chapter 10, the new chapter.
Such chaos.
Such chaos. Interesting. Couple of large dinosaurs. Can't fool me. I could tell you guys were going to wake up. Thank you very much for the kind words. Okay. Whoa. All kinds of bad things. Many bad things want to say hi. I'm not feeling like want to give them a hug. Understandable, I think. Champions, okay. I did want to grab the shrine before I head up and unleash the beast. The new and improved beast, presumably. There it is. Go. Got it. Goodies. Excellent. And we've got another nemesis. Always fun. I do enjoy my nemesises. And it's another enormous, great big dinosaur screaming at me. A less enormous dinosaur screaming at me. The screaming seems to be pretty consistent, though. On this nemesis, we only have the challenge option left. Will it challenge? There we go. And there he goes. %390 increased. So tier 6 stun chance. And a whole boatload of idols. Let's see if there's anything good. How much space we've got left. Let's see. No. I'm just going to buzz through them pretty quickly here. I don't think that one's going to fit.
Too much.
I can make it fit. Ha ha! Made it fit. No, probably not. Give me just a sec here. That's a maybe. Maybe. At some point here, I assume we're going to get a waypoint. Because, like, I don't have room for stuff. And we can't... There's no point in killing things if you can't pick up their stuff.
Out of my way!
The Crystal Cave. Waypoint. Yay. We will head back to... Oh, we'll go to the end of time because we can get there quickly. I need to empty out the bags. And then we'll pop back to where we were. No, not there. Not there. There. There we go. That gets Volcanus. Stun chance, melee fire, spell fire, increased fire, 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 fire! Apparently, fire. Good. Purples. Femur. Ward, that's a lot of ward per second. That's a tempting amount. And physical resistance that's already sealed. I believe they changed one of the crafting items. Used to be there was a rune where you could randomly change an affix to another affix and raise it a tier. So it was a complete crapshoot, but it was a good way of taking something like this and getting rid, or hoping to get rid of, the not awesome affixes. Because as an Acolyte helmet, I'm not doing, well, in this build, I'm not doing any poison, and dexterity is not much of an assist. I mean, it's a really good item. And almost good for this build. Almost. I didn't read it in the patch notes. I should probably double check. But my assumption is that's what's occurred. Is they removed that rune. Or sigil, or whichever it was. I can never remember. I have trouble remembering Guild Wars 2. Runes, sigils. Everybody uses the same name for different things. It hurt my head. My poor little brain can't handle the strain. And there's probably more truth in that I'm comfortable with. Lightning and fire, cold and lightning. I'll drop this back in with the other idols. That's not the idols. That's not the idols. That's the idols. We are in the ancient era in the Crystal Cave. Ah, so there is a town there. We haven't gotten there yet. We're in the Crystal Cave. That's a big fellow. Well, he was a big fellow. I guess he's not really anymore. So far, the new map areas are cool looking. New mobs are not yet especially annoying. That'll probably change. Are those things giant axolotls? Now I'll have to freaking Google up the axolotls and see if they are. I think that that's what axolotls look like. They have that big, round, blunt face. Alright, another doorway. Where are we off to next? Doesn't say. More cave.
Orobis has broken my chains. I will not let you take my freedom.
Orobis has broken my chains. Couldn't quite. I will not let you take my freedom. Okay, that's sure. The fungal tunnels. So called because of the woman who lives there is a fun gal. Yeah, I'll stop now. No, I won't. I never stop. It just never, ever stops. Some sort of trap or something there that I don't want to step in? Nice. Guy is kind enough to share a little bit of his tongue. Or gross enough to share a little bit of his tongue, either one. Oh, well, we've got either a trip back further in time or another visit from the evolved, partially evolved beast. Beast. All right, all those goodies dropped. They're just lying there and wait like they think I won't see them. Another doorway. Where are we going now? It looks like snow. The mountain ascent. They're really going to make me go all that way to get to the town? That's kind of annoying. Be nice if the town popped up a little bit earlier. I'm just saying. If I had my... Oh, okay. Thank you for having the fog clear. That was not going to be entertaining. Dude, you're all glowy. And you've got weird things. Are we friends? The observer.
Are you able to do?
Are you able to do something for this creature? Sure. No, I can see your hands. The care they would have for this creature, but I know that it would not be enough. Your compassion would have been kind.
That it would not be
Happened.
This creature was not
This creature was not supposed to be injured like this. Well, I'm not surprised. I don't know which creature he's talking about. I didn't notice a creature. The Nagasa woman left so much destruction in her wake with powers that do not belong to her. This creature was a second too slow or a second too fast. Either way, its fate was changed ever so slightly, and now it is in pain. We can still help it. Your determination, her recklessness, it's also fascinating. What are you? I am the observer. What you see is merely a projection, means by which I can walk this world and imagine what it must be like to dwell in it. My true body is somewhere else, a place I'm not permitted to leave. A projection, much as this, however. She felt it would cause little harm. Who is she? I suppose in human terms you would call her my sister, Etera. That's kind of the world. Her work is very important. The last thing I would wish to do is interfere. I am content to observe, especially now that you and that Nagasa have come. That is enough for now. I fear indulging myself further would spoil what you will do next. If you are seeking the Nagasa woman, she's at the top of this mountain. Oh, I guess that's the wounded animal. I have some hammers that are rotating, or firing out, I guess. Not rotating, they're actually firing out from me. But, oh, got a new nemesis. Got it. Always got to do the nemesis. Let's see. Apex of Thought. Glyph of Domination magic. Sure, we'll try empowering it. Why not? Why not? He said. Shrine of Gold. Not much help in combat, unless I'm, gonna throw gold coins at them, which would be wasteful. We have a champion. Which we murdered in very quick time. Like I've said, build's got good damage. Defense? Maybe it's just me. So what I'm going to do, I think, I will be calling it an evening shortly. And probably then tomorrow we'll finish out the storyline, chapter 10. And and maybe start a second character. So I'll start doing some research on the stuff I've already nabbed in ways of goodies. The obvious ones, going with the falconer, giving the falconer item I got, the bow, has got 10 out of a possible 12 skill ups. 4 in one and 3 in both of the others. It's from 1 to 4. So you could get anywhere from 3 to 12, and I got 10. It also has like an extra bonus, 180% poison damage. So if I can do a poison build out of that. Alright, here comes the big beast again. And there we go. Almost. There we go. There we go. There we actually go. Right? We were sort of going, and then we're actually. I don't even know what that thing is. We don't seem to be getting the mouse over. I know they said they'd fixed a bug where the mouse overs showing the health and names of critters and stuff were showing up too high visually in the screen. But I'm still, a lot of times, I've got a mouse over on something and I don't get any pop-up telling me the name or showing me the buffs and debuffs. So a lot of the times I can't tell if I'm over-dotting stuff. I mean, stuff is dying plenty fast, but in many cases, if I stopped shooting a second earlier, it would die basically just as fast. And I could be moving on. Yeah, keep catching up with me. That's probably not the best idea, because I've got whirlpool or whirlwinds blowing around me. Oh, there she is. Apophis. Nothing's happening yet.
To save our future from you. You will die here, traveler. Die, traveler! I will end you. I will end you. Boy, aid me.
Do I have to do something with those stones? No, I don't think so. She's almost dead, because we've got 12% coal. Now she's dead.
No. I can't do this alone. I need to find the temple. And you need to fall.
What? I may have to check back in the chat log to see what was said. Apophis Oribus gave me power to change both of our fates to save our future from you. You will die here, Trower. Presumably that's the beginning of the fight. Apophis. Oribus, I can't do this alone. I need to find the temple and you need to fall. Okay, well I fell. The Drawl Hive. So the Drawl are bug critters. By the way, I am an entomophobe. I have a fear of bugs. Don't think it's going to affect me here, but it could. As they don't really look so much like bugs that I would find them especially creepy in a game. You know, they don't look like terrestrial, earthen type bugs. think we'll keep going until we can get to the town. Town would be a good breaking point if it's not too many more maps ahead of us. And so the plan is, as I just mentioned a minute ago, oops, is there, did I miss something? No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe missed back here the way. Oh, we've got multiple ways. Interesting. We have 3 different doorways. It's a new modern 3-person version of the Lady and the Tiger. It's a classical reference, but it checks out. What's this taken? The Draw Queen's Lair. Okay. What could go wrong? Oh, that's a big tentacular thing, and that is kind of creepy too. Draw Queen? Now she's at least taking a little bit of damage. That's quite a little fight. She should get culled. Yeah, there we go. We culled her at 12%. Cull is an ability you pretty much always want.
Without their queen, the draw will struggle.
Voice of the Observer. Without their queen, the draw will struggle. Their future holds little hope. Well, yeah, but she was enormous and a bug. So I don't feel too terribly bad about that. The Silent Coast. Where are we? Theoretically, we'll go to the Silent Coast and then the garden? Don't know. We'll find out. And then I'll be calling it an evening. Honest. For realsies. Coast really silent though? The Observer again. Hi.
Still in pain.
Yeah, it's still in pain. I tried to bring it somewhere more beautiful. Do you think that has helped? Where's Apophis? I don't know if that helped. I see.
Yet it will die.
Yet it will die all the same, whether the pain was eased or not.
Terror
Terra enjoys what she was given a name. I am content without. I want to give this creature a name. What do you suggest? You should name it. I've never named something before. I will call it Oro. Goodbye, Oro. You feel a familiar darkness. That was nice of him. I thought you said it was dead. Oh, okay, yeah, dead it is. What did you do? One of the few things I'm permitted to do, give mercy. No more pain in its future, and the pain in its past erased into nothingness. It was cruel to bring it here. No beauty or kindness could have spared it. What are you really? I am what I said before, the Observer, charged with monitoring the flow of time and erasing the past that are flawed and broken. The Terra is loath to call upon my aid. She feels it is more safe to keep me contained alone in the temple. Perhaps she is right. I do not think I will be alone for long. The Nagaso one is making her way to the temple of the Terra. I think she means to find me. What? Need to catch her. Of course you do. She already found her own path to the temple. It's only fair that I even the odds. At the pier, there will be a Farsight turtle, a titan that bears my blessing. It will take you to a group of humanity's servants. They'll be eager to assist you. Please, if you can, do not catch her before she reaches me. I do not want this friendship of ours to end so soon. Okay. Evidently, I'm friends with the Observer now. It's nice. I'm not going to say no to more friends. But my new friend is a weirdo. Oh, we've got turtle sign. Enormous freaking turtle sign. Farsight turtle. Massive turtle stares at you with unfathomable intelligence. You can feel words and understanding enter your mind. The observer told me of your need. When you're ready, climb upon my shell. You'll be taken to the garden. In a garden of Eden, baby. We're in the garden. We have birds. We have people-ish things.
It eludes me.
Waypoint. And a person or thing that wants to talk to me. It's like a thing. Chain device. Looks ancient and intricate. The platform would take you up to the temple above, but it appears to be non-operational. Well, I will continue to ask about this then tomorrow. Let me come over here and sell some stuff. Unfathomable intelligence. I wonder if it'll taste good with ketchup. No. I really don't think that the turtle is a ketchup person. I think the turtle is clearly a mayo person. Maybe with a little bit of Dijon and possibly sweet pickle relish. But I try not to judge. So, you know. Come to trade. So, that's my plan for tomorrow, is I will come back. I will finish chapter 10. I will hopefully have spent a little bit of time this evening going through possible builds, and I'll start my next build. That's the most likely thing to occur. I might off-stream do some more monoliths and stuff. Spell damage, chance for lightning blast. We want to keep that one. That one we're breaking up. This one we want to bank for another character. That's a purple. Purples always go into the purple bin. Because if we put them in the yellow bin, it wouldn't make any sense. They're purple. We're going to break this one up too. If the reason, if you notice I haven't upgraded either of my main hand or offhand item, it's because theoretically what we want on these items is damage over time, and ignite. This has damage over time, spell damage, which is also really good, and ignite. And this one has damage over time, spell damage, and 2 solid resist. So these are both very good. And I just haven't found anything that's anywhere close to being better. My chest. We drop off fire resist. And ward gained on... You know, I just never have ever found ward gained on potion use to be worth it. We're going to... Well, that goes into a different bin. That goes into the bin of the yellows for possible future use by another build. And then these two are going to get busted up for parts. We've got 2, 3, only 4. We got 2. And this one, elemental damage over time, cold damage. A lot of chill we got going on. So 6, 10, 12, and we got out 6. But I am going to call it here for the evening. I want to thank you guys all very, very much. I especially want to point out a Shinigami Demon, I believe. I have it correct this time. Shinigami Demon for the follow and the sub. Thank you very, very much. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, for more Last Epoch. And the plan I have told you, I hope, will finish off this act, the new chapter, and probably start up a new character. I may do some off-stream monoliths. Our Circle of Fortune is up to Tier 3. We're working on Tier 4. And that's going to do it. Again, thank you guys very, very much. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, you will see me soon. Back tomorrow. Usual bat times, usual bat channel. I hope the rest of your Saturday night, or possibly Sunday morning, goes great.